Well, hey friends, question. Have you ever listened to a K-pop song and think, man, this sounds so much like it could be a blank song? Some of you might recall me mentioning this video idea I had in mind for almost 3 years now, back on my 20 things K-pop should have done differently video last year. I was always too nervous to make this video because after seeing AllKPop's article on this topic idea, fans did not take that article very well. Let's just say death threats ensued. Well, since I've already received a few of those after my K-pop songs that do not need a rap video, why don't we just increase my risk because, YOLO! And since some of you wanted me to make this video, I thought, well, might as well try it and see if this does me in. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not saying any of these songs are bad or that the artist did a bad job at the song. Not at all. Sometimes you listen to a song and think it could be better suited for another artist, as it aligns better with their discography, style, and image. For this video, I'm going to discuss 12 examples that came to mind over the years, and so without further ado, let's get started. First up, T-ara's So Crazy. Okay, let's get the one I used for my example in my 20 things that K-pop should have done differently video out of the way. T-ara's So Crazy sounds like it was originally made for AOA. Why that is? Simply put, it's a Bray Brothers song, the producer behind all of AOA's biggest songs. I don't need to go much further into detail with this one, but this never seemed like the best fitting song for T-ara and seemed more suited for AOA's sound and image. The next song we'll discuss is Speed's Don't Tease Me. When you're the brother of Zico from Block B, you can't help but think that the minds of these brothers think alike in the case of this song's creation. The composition and delivery of Don't Tease Me is very reminiscent of an old Block B song. Granted, I don't think the Block B members could have ever done a choreo like this at all, and so with that, I'm glad we got to see Speed grace us with one of the best K-pop choreographies of all time with the song. Regardless, the song itself screams Block B. And let's talk about Dia's Mr. Potter. Sad to say, but I have 2 Dia songs on this list. Nothing against them at all, but when I heard Mr. Potter, I could totally see this being a Red style genre of a Red Velvet song. It's a nice song, but one that seems more like an RV song that they just passed on. If anything, this song comes off like they were inspired by Red Velvet's popular tracks at the time. The next song on my list is GFRIEND's Carnival. When IU had a very successful Red Shoes era with that throwback to the 40s big band with strings and brass, people noticed a lot of similarities with IU's stuff to GFRIEND's Carnival. Carnival strays away and shows a different side to GFRIEND for sure, but it still sounded like it could have gone on IU's Red Shoes album with ease. GFRIEND is a great artist and one of the best female soloists out there. She made the song her own, but at the same time, I kind of want to hear how IU would have done this one too, because this seemed like it more aligned with IU's style compared to what GFRIEND is known for. And now let's talk about VICTON's I'm Fine. While not the strongest connection of the selection here, there's still a lot of elements in this song that makes me think of 17. The raps, the instrumental, and some of the vocals and the verses. It's a song that I could still very well see 17 do back in the day. VICTON has mostly moved on from this sound, as 17 has mostly too. But at the time of this song's release in 2016, 17 could have most likely been an inspiration at the very least. Next up, let's talk about the awesome song that is Secret's Talk That. When Secret came back with the song in 2013, I was surprised that this came from Secret, as it was a title track sound that they've never done before. It was great, I loved it a lot actually, but it still never felt like a Secret song when you compare it to their songs like Poison, Love Is Move, Shy Boy, Yoo-Hoo, Madonna, and everything else. Talk That really sounds like an old T-ara song. It makes sense because it's by Shinsadong Tiger, who pretty much did a majority of T-ara's title tracks. Even the vocal delivery sounds like it could have been sung by the ladies of T-ara. Still a great song in the end, but I just couldn't help but wonder how T-ara would have done with this song had they not already demoed it. Possibly. For my next song example, let's talk about Red Velvet's Ice Cream Cake. When Red Velvet debuted, many people point out that they were almost like another FX. Granted, here we are years later, and it's clear that they're their own group now, with their own sound and vision. But back then, people were still trying to figure out Red Velvet, and we weren't getting very many FX comebacks either, and don't get me started on that. When Ice Cream Cake came out, the song sounded like a mix between FX's Danger and La Chata, without the signature Amber rap part, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if FX has actually demoed this song years before for a B-side and it never made it onto one of their albums. Because during this song's release, I really picture this being an FX song that ended up in Red Velvet's hands. Now let's talk about Blackpink's As If It's Your Last. Same situation as Red Velvet, except YG actually admitted that he wanted another 21, but a prettier version. Not my words, but rude. And with Blackpink, there were definitely a lot of similarities. The one title track that stuck out to me the most was As If It's Your Last. This song in particular had me visualize which 2NE1 members sung which parts, because it was that easy to identify. See? Minzy. Bomb. T-ara. CL. The How the 21 Would Have Sung As If It's Your Last video just writes itself. Okay, next one. Romeo, Without You. Well, what do you know? We have another Brave Brothers track here. When you're an artist that has heavily used a certain producer over the years, your songs start to have a special sound that's yours. Romeo switched things up and moved from producer Sweet Tune, the 80s music gods, to Brave Brothers for Without You. And upon hearing this song, it's apparent that it seems like it could have been a Teen Top demo at some point before falling into the laps of Romeo. It has similarities to songs like Teen Top's 2U, for example. The song is decent, but one that's awfully similar to Teen Top's discography and a drastic change for Romeo. On another note, what the hell happened to Romeo? Where are you guys? You've been in Japan too long. Please come back. And as for the other Dia song on this list, it's E905. E905 is very reminiscent of a classic GFRIEND. Packed with that string sound that GFRIEND's title tracks are so well known for, Dia did a good job, and it appears that the inspiration of GFRIEND's explosive popularity caused a trend of other girl groups to follow suit with a similar genre. And for the next one is Hyolyn's CC. Y'all know how much I love giving that trap house trend some shit, y'all. But don't worry, the winter we're in right now, my ass could use a nice beach actually. And like, we all know that Chungha has had a few trap house songs under her belt in the genre. Hyolyn is a fantastic vocalist and one that came from a group with some of the best summer tracks. However, this song seems very vocally stifling for Hyolyn and was a song that seemed more like a nice sequel to Chungha's discography. It's a nice side to Hyolyn, no doubt, and it showcases her voice in new colors, but I still don't think this is very Hyolyn. It's not one that would be a go-to song for me to show my friends the artistry and awesomeness that has defined Hyolyn, if that makes sense. And lastly, EXO's tempo.
지금부터 나와 let's get down 모든 것이 완벽하게 좋아 So don't slow it up for me Don't mess up my tempo 들어봐 이건 충분히
Alright, so the day that Tempo came out, I tweeted how the song sounded like something NCT would have put out in 2018. And surprisingly, many people thought the same thing. Now, EXO for sure had added their own flair to the song with certain aspects to it, yet by giving the music that NCT put out throughout 2018, Tempo still seemed like a song that was going to be NCT's but ended up going to EXO instead. The song is interesting and one that I liked last year actually, but I'm still left wondering if this really was meant for NCT, as I think they could have pulled this off well too. Who knows really? Well, there you have it, folks. These are just 12 examples of K-pop songs that could have been done just as well, if not better, by other K-pop artists. And as I said before, I'm not hating here. This video simply serves as a nice what-if scenario. What are some other songs that come to mind with this topic? Share your thoughts below, and let's have a nice discussion. Maybe I can do a part 2 if y'all want it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. I appreciate you for stopping by. While you're here, please be sure to check out many more of my works, and see you next time.